Hey there, what's up? Welcome back, Dream Firm Leaders. Let's jump into making sure that when people see you, your prospective dream clients, they see what you want them to see, okay? And so really what we're getting into now is an intro into a very, very dense topic, but I would argue it is the most important topic related to being able to grow a hyper-profitable business in any capacity, but definitely in the accounting, bookkeeping, and tax space as well. And that is branding, okay? And so when we talk about branding, it's important to separate this category, this topic, into two different things. Now, normally, when I ask most people which of these two things is the most important, they will tell me that your business brand is the most important. And the reason that they say that is they go, I want to have a sellable asset. And I don't disagree that this can and should be something that we want to elevate into the most valuable position. And when you are in the professional services space, which is what we are in, and even in a lot of the core product spaces, personal branding is going to be by far more important. And the reason that's the case, what we are is we're P2P, which means we are person to person, okay? So when we're making the outbound connections, when we're going directly to people and we're saying like, hi, this is, right, like I'm Tina or my name's Tyler, this is what I do, this is how I help people, this is what we stand for. You are connecting with a person on that level. And when you're connecting with a person, you normally want to connect with people that show certain traits that you can quickly and readily identify with them, okay? Perception is reality, and there's a certain perception that we want to have. And so on the personal branding side, we have to understand that perception is reality, okay? We don't understand how important it is that people make snap judgments. Think about how many people are vying for your attention, that want to get in front of you, and you have to start to be like, what actually is the difference maker in whether or not someone does? The first thing is they're addressing a problem that is an immediate, like in my face right now. Like if I have a letter from the IRS and it's right in front of me, and then someone comes across my face and they're literally like, I solve IRS problems, probably gonna pay attention to them. But if two people come across my face and one's like, I solve IRS tax resolution problems and it looks like they live in their mom's basement, and one person comes across and says, I solve IRS tax resolution problems and it looks like they are extremely polished and well put together, I'm going to lean in one direction instead of another. And you can say we shouldn't have those beliefs or we shouldn't make those judgments, but you do. You have to make decisions as it relates to your time. And the way that you make those decisions is based on what your perception is, okay? And we have a great degree of control over your perception, okay? So on the personal branding side, the most important assets that you can possibly develop is your personal image, okay? So like literally your image, okay? And so your image is comprised of three things. It's literally only made up of three things, okay? Number one is photos. You have expert level photography available to you at any moment of every single day, okay? When you go and you get a new haircut and you throw on a beautiful suit, dress, whatever your attire is, you want to be able to go, okay, I should get some good photos right now, right? Like, I should have the presence of mind, like my headshot from 20 years ago when I was forced to do it at the Big Four is probably not reflective of what I look like today. And that's okay, right? So your photos are going to be the first mental image that people have of you. They should be like, oh my goodness, it's you. I wasn't expecting to talk to you because of all your content. Like you seem so busy and like, it's so great to talk to you. When you have that experience for the first time, it's absolutely wild because you don't like, I don't feel like special, you know what I mean? Like, but you'll see people be like, oh, wow, cool. And that brings me to the next point, which is video, right? Which is far more valuable. So there's your videos that you will create on a weekly basis that are part of your overall content engine production system, which again, like if you just want to be more successful, like you have to do it. But there are other videos, and I believe there are 3 or 5 scripts down below of videos that you will use they'll be regular videos. So there's your thank you page video, there's your video for the homepage of your website, there's a video that we want to use in cold email marketing, I think there's 2 other ones. But again, the details for those will be down below, as well as the scripts to do it, okay? So these are the 2 main ones that comprise of like this, okay? And there are a lot of ways to make these better, but like, remember, this is your image. It has an impact across all the likelihood of the money coming back to you that you've invested into this program and for the rest of your life. Like, you're not gonna stop marketing. So if you know that you want to go pro, you want to spend a couple $100 on Fiverr, Thumbtack, right? Or like Bark. There are a bunch of local job board sites, and you just be like, hey, I need a half day of headshots and or filming. Sometimes you split them out between, depending on the service provider. And then you have really professional things that you don't have to worry about setup, tech, did the audio record, the editing, you don't have to do any of that. They will do it all for you for half a day and a couple $100. And again, it's your image. Like, if we're talking about the most valuable thing, we have to be able to make sure that it is done the right way. All right, next piece here. So the next piece here is a combination of a few different things. You heard me mention audio, right? Like how things are heard, but there's also the written words that we say. And what I'm going to just like summarize this as, because I don't want to get into all the different mediums, right? But mainly it's written and audio. But I'm just going to put it as stories, okay? And oh no, I'm not a storyteller. We're all storytellers. But I know that it's important to be able to unpack the stories that matter in my life, to share them. The struggles of my accounting firm, why I picked the category that I'm in, right? Like, there are things that make you relatable so that people want to be personally associated with you, that they want to share your stuff, that they want to literally follow you, that they want to see you as a leader. There is no leader in the world who is not a masterful storyteller, period. They don't exist. It is a prerequisite skill to having a very powerful personal brand, and personal brands far outweigh business brands, okay? So again, perception is reality. You can literally craft the perception that you would like to be the reality that your dream clients see. You have a lot of control over this. And the cool thing about this is that once you have these things marshaled and organized, and so now we're going to shift over to the business side. So on the business side, what I'm going to put here instead is like, I've talked about this previously, but where is the eraser? Of all the things that we establish first and foremost when it comes to building successful business brand is, what do we stand for, okay? What are the things that we believe in? And if we can't quickly and readily be like, these are the things we believe in, we have nothing that can guide the behavior of the business. When people look at the business, we want them to associate, which is branding. Like when you think about branding, like literally the ancient or origin of branding is a cow brand, like literally, like, when you see this mark, it means that this thing belongs to this organization. Like it has been branded. And so when you want people to like associate with you, to not be forcefully branded, but to willfully put on a piece of clothing, to put on a hat, right? That we're like, I believe in this. This is something I believe in. I'm a dream firm leader, right? That when we want people to do that, they have to be able to look at whatever the symbols are, whatever the thing is that is represented, and before the symbol is even developed, before even like you get the mountains and the trees or the sunset or the abstract logo, before you even do that, it's like, what the heck do we stand for? How do we keep it short, simple, and to the point? So 3, 5, 7 max, simple phrases, 2 to 3. The point is, when you have your core values established, you want them to be simple, short, easy to remember, and that you can rattle them off very quickly. These are part of what you will want to be able to market out. You want to be able to have that. They can sometimes be slogans, they can be expressions, they can be things that you constantly are having your entire team rally around, celebrate, your clients understand, and you understand, and it's part of your business brand. However, there are assets that you will develop that support your mission or your beliefs, okay? So the assets you develop are going to, of course, be a logo, okay? And then you can pay someone on like Fiverr or Upwork, an hourly rate to make the logo like perfect, but you can get the idea exactly the way you want. So you've got your logo, you've got your actual biz name, okay? I'm gonna just loosely talk about this because it's a part of your overall marketing. Business names to me should always have .com. I think the .cpa thing is a wonderful little ruse by the AI CPA to make some money. I don't really think there's any like tangible value there. Yes, it shortens domains theoretically by 3 characters. If you have the CPA designation, it could be worth it, but as a general rule of thumb, nobody knows what .cpa is any more than they know what .mom is. There's a .mom domain company, right? Like there are a lot of like meaningless domains. There's not a domain registrar, I think is what it's called, where it's like .net, right? Like there's a bunch of them. If I can't get the .com for the business name, generally speaking, I won't name the business that. I just don't believe in it. If you want to keep things simple, you just literally use your personal name as your business name. The problem is it's not as valuable as an asset when you go to sell it because it's personally tied to you, so there may need to be some rebranding costs that get passed along back to the new ownership, which isn't that big of a deal. A lot of firms, kind of just like hand wave that away. And the goal, again, of a name is just like, I like to keep it as just kind of like some bullet points here. Ideally less than 10 characters, okay? So if you're like America's Choice Bookkeeping.com, my old firm's name, that's a terrible domain name, okay? I learned that lesson the hard way. So less than 10 characters, because you have to spell it. People can misspell it when you say it phonetically over the phone. So you want to make sure that phonetically it works well. I try to avoid vowels together. So for instance, if my name was like, I don't know, CPA America, okay, CPA America. I don't like when there's double vowels together. I like when a consonant breaks it up. So again, when you read it exactly, because I could be like CPA America, like what does that mean? Like, what is that? What does that even mean? So avoid vowels together because you just want to hear how it sounds. And always Google it, okay? And the reason that you Google it is because sometimes you'll have an association with the business name that you don't necessarily like, right? Like you'll be like, I'm not really sure that I want to be associated with those things. Or, wow, like I think it'd be really hard to rank on the first page because I'm competing against like super companies that have kind of like the same sort of name. So just Google it, get a good understanding of its overall. The key here is like, you can always rebrand up until you're doing probably north of like 3 to 5 million a year without a whole lot of concern or cost. Like they kind of just are associating primarily to your personal brand anyway. So if you're not planning to go to that level, don't spend an inordinate amount of time on this. I know people want to be proud of it, but the thing is if you get struck by a bolt of lightning, like we did with our name, and we're like, oh my goodness, that should be the name. Dream Firm's like, it's perfect. The domain's available. It's less than 10 characters. Talks about the dream destination. Like we were like, bolt of lightning. We're like, yes, that's it. Cool. We rebranded. Nobody noticed. Nobody cared. Cost us like a couple $100 to like redo some of like the graphics and stuff. And that was it. So again, don't waste a ton of time on this. It's way more important to like get deeper into the category, understand the niche. Don't use this as like a crutch to not move forward. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next video, Dream Firm Leader.